There will be no trial, no jury selection, no cross-examination, no dramatic courtroom verdict. After years of anticipation, Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty for counts of first-degree murder, one count of burglary. So the question is no longer, will he be convicted? The real question is, why did he fold? November 2022. In the quiet college town of Moscow, University of Idaho students were killed inside their off-campus home. Their names: Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves. A knife attack, late at night, inside what should have been a safe home. The brutality stunned the country, and for weeks, there were no answers. Police faced massive pressure. No immediate suspect. No murder weapon recovered publicly. A shaken community demanding arrests. Then investigators focused on something small. A knife sheath left at the scene. That single object would change everything. According to court records, DNA recovered from the sheath was linked to Bryan Kohberger. Not a partial match, a direct link. For prosecutors, that's powerful. For a jury, it could be devastating. But DNA alone doesn't always win a case. So investigators built more. Cell phone records allegedly placed Kohberger near the victim's residence multiple times before the killings. Not once, not twice, multiple times. Prosecutors argued this showed surveillance behavior. The defense would likely have challenged, was it exact location data or general tower pings? In a trial, that distinction matters. Surveillance footage showed a white Hyundai Elantra near the home around the time of the murders. Kohberger owned a white Hyundai Elantra. Circumstantial? Or a pattern forming? Piece by piece, the case tightened. Originally, prosecutors were seeking the death penalty. That changes everything. When capital punishment is on the table, trials become longer, more intense, more unpredictable, and the stakes become permanent. If convicted at trial, Kohberger could have faced execution. Instead, he chose to plead guilty. On July 2, 2025, Bryan Kohberger admitted guilt to all charges. In exchange, the death penalty was removed. No jury deliberation. No graphic evidence presented in open court. No public testimony dissecting every detail. Just a plea. Sometimes, a plea deal is about strategy. When evidence appears overwhelming, minimizing damage becomes the priority. On July 23, 2025, Judge Steven Hippler handed down the sentence. For consecutive life terms. No parole. He is expected to serve his sentence at the Idaho Maximum Security Institution. The legal chapter closed. But questions remain. A trial would have meant public scrutiny, defense challenges to DNA, cross-examination of investigators, possibility of appeals lasting years. A guilty plea guarantees one thing: certainty. For prosecutors, it avoids risk. For the defendant, it removes death from the equation. For families, it prevents reliving the trauma in a drawn-out courtroom battle. But it also means some evidence may never be publicly dissected. This case gripped the nation. A criminology PhD student accused of committing one of the most shocking campus murders in recent memory. In the end, there was no dramatic trial, just a quiet admission of guilt. Justice to some, a compromise to others. But one reality remains: for lives were lost, and a town will never forget. Was this closure or a strategic surrender?